a person that we all know has been a great person in our community, has kept us safe, and is on great committees in the State House, and we can't do it without him. He's been here. He's fought the battles way before it was cool to be out there fighting these battles. He's fought the battles online for the illegals that are coming into our country. He's fought the battles on crime. He's fought the battles for extra police, extra fire. He's done it all and can't do it without him. Today, he has decided that he's going to run for higher office, which is the state senate, and Mr. Coley's given up that position due to term limits. So today, it gives me great pleasure to be here and support our leader in the House and soon to be in the Senate. Come right on up here, George Lane. Let's give him a round of applause.
Announcing today my run for Ohio's 4th Senate District. Go ahead, Nancy, I got time. You know, as we go down this road, my message hasn't changed since I first became a trustee in Westchester about 20 years ago, and that is put business first. When you put business first, everything else works itself out, and I'm so glad we have a pro-business commission at the county, and Don Dixon, Cindy Carpenter, and T.C. Rogers. You guys understand, reduce county debt, put business first, and watch your community prosper. With that in mind, I have started up in Columbus what is called the Business First Caucus. Let me read to you our mission statement so you can have a really good understanding of what it is I'm trying to do. And I'm going to share some statistics with you why this is so important. Here's our mission statement. We believe a state cannot thrive without a strong business presence. We exist to promote, advance, and protect business interest and entrepreneurship by eliminating barriers for expansion and job creation. Our mission is to make Ohio the most prosperous state in the nation by making Ohio the most business-friendly state in America. We live to inspire companies to do great things in our state and to financially dominate the other states. And if you think about it, if you go back 50 years ago, Ohio was rocking and rolling. We were the land of economic opportunity, the land of paper, the land of steel, the land of auto parts manufacturing, the land of flight. We were the land of presidents. There was a 120-year period where 8 United States presidents came through Ohio. But what's happened since 1970? In 1970, and this stat will illustrate more than anything else how we are getting our asses kicked in the state. 1970, we have 24 congressmen. Today we have 16. We know when the census comes out next year, we're going to 15, maybe 14. Show me one other state in the last 50 years that has lost a third of their representation. Wouldn't it become irrelevant? Donald Trump did not need our electoral votes to win the election. His vote plurality was high enough that had those votes gone to Hillary, he still would have won. The same for Barack Obama in his 2 previous elections. Ohio hasn't registered in presidential elections in at least 16 years. When do we become irrelevant? That was 50 years ago. 1970. What did we do in 1972? We implemented the income tax, not just on individuals, but on the profits of corporations, one tax after another on businesses and individuals. And what has happened as a result? Ohio is now the 5th, depending on what source you look at, the 5th to most 7th most left state in America. I don't mean politically or ideologically, but people leaving Ohio to go elsewhere. Number one reason people leave? Better economic opportunity elsewhere. I'm so inspired to have Brittany and Samantha, Miami students, here with us today. Ohio has some of the greatest colleges in America. The majority of college graduates upon graduation leave Ohio. Better economic opportunity elsewhere. 4 things that the Business First Caucus and my platform is going to focus on. First one, tax reform and simplification. Let this sink in for a second. Ohio has more than 6,000 different taxing jurisdictions. More than any other state in America. Think about that. More than Illinois, more than New York, New Jersey, more than California. So when a business is looking for places to locate, they want to look not only for friendly taxing environments, but how they can increase their EBITDA by reducing their cost and complexity. Ohio, we don't get a positive mark on that. Next one, regulatory reform. The cost of doing business in Ohio is so ridiculous, and I'm so proud right now that the Senate is pushing forward with some reform movements, and I'm leading the efforts in the House to match what the Senate is doing. It's going to be my goal to focus on regulatory reform. Next thing, smaller government. I learned this while I was in Westchester. Westchester has fewer employees today than it did 15 years ago, and up until a few years ago, we had a lower overall payroll. We reduced the cost and complexity of government when we weren't forced to. I'm so proud of what the commissioners have done at the county. They have reduced the size of government, because as you grow government, it's going to be, the businesses are the ones stuck paying the bills. So in Westchester, we said no to things like bike paths. We said no to things like walking paths. We said no to parks expansions. We took our biggest park and gave it away to Butler County Metro Parks, the VOA Park, and look what they've done with it. That's their core competency. The one thing I learned in my 15 years in local government is government needs to focus only on their core competencies. And the last thing we're working on is workforce development. 10 years ago, the big issue in Ohio was laying people off. Today, we're having a hard time finding enough people to fill all the jobs that are out there. And if you think about it, here's a few more statistics I want to share with you. 50 years ago, the average Ohioan made about 10% more than the average American. Today, the average Ohioan makes about 12% less than the average American. It's these states that are attracting businesses, that are attracting our residents, that are taking over. I'm really excited to be endorsed by the following people, and this is just a partial list. Sheriff Jones is endorsing me, Roger Reynolds, Danny Crank, Nancy Nix, Christine Matisic, Mary Swain, thank you, Mary, Don Dixon, Cindy Carpenter, Greg Wilkins, Mark Welch, Bruce Jones, Shannon Harkemeyer, Sue Birding, Mike Birding. Mike, I saw you come in back there, thank you. Linda O'Connor from Lakota School District, Todd Parnell, Ron DePifanio, Mike Ryan from Hamilton, Levi Kramer from Middletown, Steve Schramm from Liberty Township, Tom Farrell also from Liberty Township, Thomas Hall, who's here today and I know is anxious to share a few words, and Danny Ivers. And I'm so excited. So many times you see all these old guys getting involved in campaign. I see Danny here today. I see Tom Hall. We have a lot of young energy, and I want everybody to meet Noah Johnson. Noah, hold your hand up. Noah is a recent graduate of Miami University, and starting August 1st, Noah's full-time job, something he's very passionate about, managing my campaign and helping to make sure I get elected. I see Michael Wing here, from a recent graduate from Miami, going up to the legislator in Columbus starting in 2 weeks. And of course, we already brought up Brittany and Samantha. So I'm really excited about the youth that are here and the energy that we have, because if my plans are right, if my vision is right, and we make Ohio the most prosperous state in the nation, it's the young people here today that stand to benefit the most from that. At this point, I'd like to invite up Don Dixon, followed by Mark Welch, just to share some thoughts, why they're giving me their endorsement. And I'm going to open it up to any elected official here today that would like to come up and share a few words. Commissioner Dixon?